wanted it to be me and you in your condo without your wife. Like, that's what you wanted.
Back up on the move, touchdown in my home, said I got nothing to lose. I am on my own now, I am in control now. Ain't need you to go now, I can fix my own crown. Back up on my move.
Hey y'all, it's TheBreeze and you're plugged into the Breeze lifestyle. If this is not your first time here, you already know we locked in, friend. Either way, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you want to support your girl some more, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to see more of me, then follow me on Instagram and TikTok at TheBreeze Lifestyle 777. So let's go ahead and get right into it. This is going to be a story time about a crazy trip to Miami. Now, unlike most of the crazy trips to Miami, this was not a girl's trip. This was a solo trip. This was actually, I want to say, my first solo trip. Yeah, I went to Miami well, technically this is not, okay, so it is based in Miami, but I did a trip to Fort Lauderdale. So I flew to Fort Lauderdale. I didn't get no rental or nothing. I just was going to have an Uber or whatever. So just to kind of set the scene a little bit, I'm young, lit, and turned, okay? But I'm still growing up and like trying to date. I'm online dating at the time, and I don't have nobody on my roster at this point. I was kind of over everybody, and at this point, I really just wanted to date an older man, like, period. All my life, people been telling me, like, you got an old soul, you need somebody that's older than you, you know, whatever. And I have been dating a couple older men. I'm gonna give y'all them story times a little later. But I have been dating a couple older men, but they wasn't really hitting on nothing. So it was just like, you know what? I just need a breather. I want to take some pictures, get some content. This is when I was first like, was I on YouTube? Yes. I don't think I ever posted this vlog, but I was vlogging at the time, and I was just trying to get some pictures for Instagram. So yeah, I was. And I was just like, you know what? I got some money. I want to spend the weekend in Miami, and I'm just looking up Airbnbs, and there was this one like perfect Airbnb. Now, everything in Miami is a little expensive for what I want. Like, I want either a pool or a jacuzzi or something in the backyard. Because I like, for me, when I travel, I don't think I've ever actually done a resort when I travel, because I would rather have an Airbnb where I could just have the pool or the jacuzzi to myself. Like, that's just how I prefer to travel. So, cool. This Airbnb was like a shared Airbnb. Okay, so when I do an Airbnb, I'm not sharing, like, me and you will share bathrooms and all of that. But I'll do like a guest house where somebody live in the main house and then I'm renting out the guest house. People be like, oh, I'm scared to do that. I'm not. I don't care. If it comes with a beautiful backyard, like, I'll definitely take my little room, my own room, my bathroom. I can lock it if I want to, and I got the backyard to myself. Like, that's cool with me. And this one had its own little kitchen. But the way that it was, it's like it wasn't like a guest house. They kind of did a extra build, but it was really nice. If I can find some videos on Snapchat, I'll definitely put some right here. But it was really, really nice. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be dope. It got a pool, got a jacuzzi. Like, I'm excited. So this was supposed to just be a solo trip with me just getting out there. I was learning new things about, you know, dating, just putting yourself out there, going out, being cute, like, stuff like that. So I'm like, all right, cool. First night I get there is a Thursday, and I feel like I got there like late night. So I just was chilling. Like, I didn't do nothing. I was just chilling. I got in a jacuzzi, and I didn't have no tree yet. But the owner of the Airbnb was really, really cool. It was a black dude or whatever, and he was helping me out. He gave me a tripod because I forgot my tripod, so he let me use his tripod. And he was like, oh, I know somebody who sells trees, so I got some tree from them. It was so expensive, but it was good though. It was good, but it was expensive. Anyway, so cool. So that Friday night, got my tree. I'm cool. Like, I'm going out. So I told myself, I did a mukbang first. So earlier that day, I did a little mukbang with my seafood boil. What was the seafood place called? Y'all don't care. Anyway, so I did my little seafood boil. It was good. I think I might have took some more pictures, took a nap, whatever. But I knew that night it was this place. Oh, I wish I knew the name of it. And I'm sure I got, that might be my old Snapchat. I don't know. I think I got some things. I think I got some videos to show y'all. But anyway, so I went to this place and it was like the rooftop was like a jungle. Like it was all these plants around. It was giving very sexy vibes. And it was like in Brickell, Miami. If you know, put it down. But it was just like very nice. It was like at the top floor, obviously because it was rooftop, but it was the top floor and the bathroom was pretty. And the outside was like, you could sit on the inside if you wanted to, but you could go on the outside and it was just like mingling. So my goal is just be out here being cute and hopefully find my husband. Like that's what I was just thinking that was gonna happen. But I ended up meeting this girl and she was doing the same thing. She actually lived in Miami, but she was doing the same thing, just kind of like dating and just trying to get herself out there. So I was talking to her and we were just like hit it off and we was cool. So it's so crazy because I was just showing her my dating apps or whatever. So this dude had hit me up and he was like, we had been talking a little bit and he was like, are you in Miami right now? And I was like, yeah, like, cause you can see people's location when you're on the dating app. He was like, me too. I'm like, you're lying. He was like, where you at? So I told him where I was at. He was like, I'm about to meet you. I got my homeboys. You got anybody with you? And I'm like, yeah, I got my homegirl. Cause I obviously asked her if she wanted to link up with them. And she was like, yeah, like I would definitely link up with them. So cool. I was showing her the picture of him. He was older, like in his 40s. And he was like a 6.5 out of 10. He wasn't the cutest thing, but he wasn't ugly. He was just, some people just have a plain face, and he was just kind of plain, but he was cool. He was nice to talk to. I had been talking to him for like maybe a week prior to when he lived in Atlanta. So I'm like, all right, cool. So he was like, I'm about to meet you outside, and we're going to walk to where me and my homeboys are at. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I was asking her, because it was like approaching 12 o'clock at this point. I'm like, are you sure that you want to go? She was like, yeah, the night's still young. We look cute. Then let's go out. So I'm like, cool. Mind you, I had these high heels on. They was thick platform high heels. They wasn't hard to walk in, but when he talking about walking to different places, I'm like, I don't know. Oh, keep in mind, I took an Uber to this place, right? When I took the Uber to the place, it cost me like $30, $35 to get there. It wasn't that long. It was like 20 minutes away. All right, cool. So we meet him. He like, oh, you look beautiful. Like, you look just like your pictures. You're so beautiful. Nice to meet you. My name is Cole. We're going to give his name Cole. So I'm like, all right, well, you look nice too. You know, I'm so happy that you was here. What you doing here? You know, what are you here for? He was like, it just was random. Me just coming to see my homeboys or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, I'm just on a little solo trip. And it's my homegirl, you know, she live out here. We know each other for a little while. Lying. Listen, if you around ninjas, y'all better team up. Like, y'all better act like y'all done known each other since little kid days, you know? So, anyway, I'm like, well, how far is this place? And he was like, oh, it's just 2 blocks away. I'm like, maybe we should get an Uber. He was like, nah, it's 2 blocks away. It's right here. So, we walking, we talking. Now, mind you, I got my little tree in my bag. And oh girl, she blow on trees too. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I asked him like, you know, did he mind or whatever? Because I'm not trying to do too much. He was like, yeah, cool. Just, you know, I don't do that, but I'll just walk in front of y'all and then y'all just be walking behind me, but don't be too far behind me because I want to make sure y'all good. I'm like, all right, cool. So we just blowing and we just talking. I'm just like, oh, you know, I wonder if his friends would be your type, you know, whatever. She was like, yeah, I hope so, you know, because I'm trying to lock me down something. So we both kind of want an older man. She wanted them for different reasons. Not to say I'm opposed to an older man with money, but her whole gist of getting a man is because she want a sugar daddy type vibe, you know? So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Well, let's see what happens. So mind you, I had only ate earlier that day that seafood boil. And by the time like I wanted something to eat from the rooftop place, their kitchen was closed. So the girl didn't get nothing to eat either. So he asked me if we was hungry. And I was like, yeah, I am hungry actually. So the place that we got when we met his friends, I guess it was like a limited menu because of the hours. So let's say they usually have like a whole bunch of stuff he was saying, but then they really only had chimichangas and enchiladas, and it's just like, I didn't want that. So he was like, oh, well, let's sit here real quick just so y'all can catch y'all breath or whatever. I'm like, I'm good, because it really wasn't that far. So he introduced us to his friends. So we gonna name his friends. One of the homeboy, it was two dudes. One of them don't need a name, so that's just gonna be the friend. One of them name was Martin. Now Martin, he's the man. Like Martin was that guy. Like he was the one who lived in Miami. The other two was coming to visit or whatever. So Martin was, he might have been 50. He might have been 50, but he looked good. Like he was like a caramel skin. He had a little curly top. Like you could tell he had good hair. Salt and pepper, little salt and pepper beard. And he was just like, not muscular, but he was in shape. And it was just like, ooh. And he smelled good. Like he gave me a hug. I was just trying to go like that. And he grabbed my hand and pulled me to him and gave me a hug. And he hugged me kind of tight. I was like, ooh. So Martin was that, like, he was cute. Oh, let me give you the girl name. We're going to name her Pam. This is, I'm Gina. That's Cole. My man is Cole. Pam and Martin. And I guess the other one can be Tommy, but he really ain't have he wasn't really talking about that. So anyway, so we decided to go to this pizza spot, which was like right around the corner. I was like, oh, I want to go to 7-Eleven. I want a Slurpee. And he was like, oh, well, 7-Eleven's a little walk. I'm like, okay. I guess he was trying to be nice to me, but at the same time, like, if I said I wanted to go, then I'm the one wearing heels, so let's go. But anyway, we ended up going to the pizza place first. So he was like, I don't know what time the pizza place closed, so y'all want to get some real food first, and then we can go get the Slurpee. So I'm like, okay, cool. Because it had been a long time since I had a Slurpee, and when I seen it in the GPS, I was like, yeah, like, I want to get a Slurpee. So anyway, now mind you, old girl had a car. Pam had a car, but her car was parked in one of the little parking garages. We was in Brickell, so everything, I don't know if y'all really know, but Brickell it's not far from Miami, and it's like where the rich people be, and it's like these shops and restaurants and all these type of things, and it's like, let's say 4 or 5 blocks, as far as I know, I only been there once, but it was like 4 or 5 blocks worth of just like buildings and establishments and businesses and stuff. So cool, we go to the pizza spot. We just sitting there talking. He ended up paying, Cole ended up paying for my pizza, and I lied, because I would say nobody paid for Pam pizza, but Pam ordered first. We all had to get different pizza because Pam did not eat what we ate, and I don't think I was eating pork at the time, but something is telling me I was, because I remember that pizza, and I believe I got a Meat Lovers, and that pizza was so good. Like, that pizza was, to this day, I wish I knew what the pizza place was called, because that was probably the best pizza I ever had in my life. But anyway, so she ordered first. That's why it was hard at first for us to find something to eat, because she did not eat no meat, but she ate seafood. So she ended up getting like a vegetable pizza. I think I got a Meat Lovers pizza. And then Cole came behind us and ordered his pizza, and he took care of everything. It was like $40. We all got our own little personal pizza. All right, cool. So I'm like, okay, all right, Cole, I see you. So Tommy and Martin, they didn't get nothing. So it was like these tables outside. So they were just sitting outside. And mind you, we in Miami. And I think this was, I don't know exactly when it was. I want to say it was before summer, but I don't think it was like cold. So I think it might have been springtime, right? So, okay, cool. So we outside, we talking, we just chit-chatting. And I'm sitting next to, okay, how the table was, it really was set for 4, but it was 5 of us. So I'm sitting next to Cole, Pam sitting next to me, and Martin sitting across from me, and Tommy is sitting like in between Pam and Martin. So we just talking whatever, and Martin starts to just talk about himself. And he was telling us, like, you know, he lived in Miami, he got a condo, he had a house built, I'm just like, okay. So I'm just looking at Martin, and the way Martin is looking at me, it's just like, like I'm nervous because he seemed like he's flirting with me a little bit, but I got Cole right here, and it's like me and Cole, like, we don't really have any attraction connection with us going on, but we cool. Like, he's a cool guy, but I don't know. I just wasn't really feeling him. So it was just like, I was not trying to just like jump on Martin, but the way Martin was looking at me, I'm like, you better stop playing with me. Like, you just better stop playing with me, sir. Because, yeah, I'm single. I don't care what Cole talk about. I am single. Like, I just met this man a week ago. Really just met him a couple hours ago. Been talking to him on a dating site for a week or whatever. So, anyway. Then Martin goes and tells us he got a wife. I'm just like, you're a tease. Like, why are you looking at me? Because he was like licking his lips a little bit. And like, he would say little things to me. I was like, why are you doing all that? Like, why are you doing all that? So then I'm like, oh, you got a wife? I'm like, oh, okay, the good one's always taken. And I should have probably not said that because he looked at me and just like smiled. And I'm just like, so anyway, then Pam was just like, oh, you know, asking him different questions, whatever. So Tommy was trying to talk to Pam, but it's like Pam, like anytime Tommy would try to like have his little side conversation with Pam, Pam would just like jump into the group conversation. So Martin really was the third wheel or the fifth wheel, kind of, because me and Cole supposed to be together, and then Pam and Tommy, not to say they were supposed to be together, but Martin wasn't trying to talk to Pam, but Tommy was trying to talk to her. But at the end of the day, when it came to me and Cole and Martin, like, I never branched off, even though he right next to me, I never was just like, having one little conversation with him. Like, we all was just talking, like, we was high school friends, like, we were just talking. So then I asked Martin, I'm just like, oh, you're white? Because now at this point, it's got to be like 2 o'clock in the morning. We literally are sitting just talking, y'all. So I asked Martin, I'm like, oh, your wife let you be out this late? Like, you know, he was like, man, I'm a grown man. I do what I want, you know, whatever. Me and my wife don't even live in the same house. I'm like, what? He was like, yeah, remember I told you I built that house? That's for my wife and my kids. And then I got my condo down the street. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I was just, huh? Because I'll be damned if I'm married to a man and he got his own separate condo from the family. Hell no. Like, and he look fine too? And he got money too? No, I would never. I would absolutely not. I would never let my husband have his own place. I don't care. You can have a man cave in our house, but you're not about to have your own actual house. No. Call me insecure. Call me what you want. Just don't call my man. Like, no, not you get what I'm saying. Just don't think that my man is about to be having his own house. So I was just like, oh. But I'm just like, a little lit. I am. I'm just like, what? Your wife let you do that? And he was like, you keep saying let. I'm a grown man. And I was like, oh, okay. So then I looked at my date and I was like, do you want to be married? And he was like, yeah, I do. I said, would you want your own house? He was like, nah, I don't need my own house. And then that's when Martin like got a little defensive and he was kind of like, you know, I wanted my own house. You know, it works better. Like, we've been married. He was like, how long did he say? They've been married since they was in their 20s. He was like, we've been through a lot. It's been, like, he literally just starts spilling how, like, he cheated on her before. She cheated on him before. And they had a separation. Then they got back together and this, and that. And this just works for them. So I'm like, oh, okay. Okay. All right, cool. So we just talking. And now it's to the point where the pizza shop trying to shut down and clean off the tables or whatever. So I'm like, dang, like the night is still young. Like, I'm still having a good time. So we was out there puffing on trees. And then that's when Martin was like, where you get your tree from? And I was telling him like about the Airbnb dude. And he was like, oh, well, you know, I can get you some better. And I was like, okay. I was like, okay. He was like, you want it? And I was like, you got it on you? He was like, nah, it's at my house. So when he said that, like, Cole was like, all right, you know, they about to close up. Like, you know, what y'all want to do now? So I was like, I don't know. Like, I'm just not ready to kind of go. And then I was like, let's walk to 7-Eleven. So we ended up walking to 7-Eleven. And what's his name? Tommy was like, I'm going to go ahead and head in. Like, Tommy was ready to go. He wasn't getting no play from Pam. So he was like, I'm not about to just keep fooling around with y'all walking to no 7-Eleven at 2 o'clock in the morning. No. But Martin was like, yeah, I'm down. You like, I'm down. So, because Tommy seemed like he was probably in his either late 30s or early 40s, but he was ready to go. So anyway, so we walked to 7-Eleven, and this is when it just got a little weird. So we walk in, and it's like we're not coupled up, but like I can feel that Cole's trying to stay on my hip, like he trying to stay next to me, whatever. But when we got into the store, like we kind of branched off. He asked me if I wanted any snacks or something. I'm like, no, I'm about to go make my Slurpee. So I go make the Slurpee, and I did grab a snack. So I forgot exactly what I grabbed, but I grabbed a snack. So now I'm waiting for everybody to get done getting what they're getting. And Martin come up to me, and he was like, oh, that's what you want? And I was like, yeah, that's what I'm getting. He was like, oh, you don't have to pay for that. And I was like, yeah, I wasn't I wasn't going to pay for that. I was just waiting for, for Cole to get here. He was like, nah, I got you. And I was like, okay. Somebody got to pay for it. I don't care who it is. So I was just like, okay. And as we like waiting in line, because at first I was just on the side, so I wasn't in the actual line. It was like 2 people that was in line already. So once he said he was gonna pay for it, I got in the actual line. And as we're waiting in line, then Cole pulls up, and he was like, oh, you got everything you wanted? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, you was about to pay for it? And then I was like, I didn't know what to say at first. I didn't want to be like, no, he was gonna pay for it. I was just like, no, I figured you would be right here, He was like, oh, okay. I got what I wanted. I got you. So I'm like, okay. So now Martin just sitting in line just for no reason, and it's just like kind of awkward. So he ended up just walking away. So I was just thinking to myself, like, yo, am I tripping? Because I'm a little stoned, okay? So I'm like, yo, am I tripping? Or do this man want me? Like, do he want me? Like, I want him because... Yo, he was fine. Like, to this day, a nice looking older man with a little salt and pepper full beard. Yo,
I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly.
Alright, so now we walking kind of back to where we was or whatever. So we seen these scooters. I'm like, oh, I want to do the scooters. So cool. They like, all right, cool, we can do the scooters. But Martin like, shoot, I'll go with y'all, but I ain't doing no scooters. So we do the scooters or whatever. And I really I didn't go far because I was scared. We was on the sidewalk to the scooters. And I feel like scooters had just like really came out. I'm talking about the electric scooters that be, like the, what are they called? They have like, lime. They have a lift one. Y'all know what I mean. Them scooters that just be all around the city or whatever. So me and Pam is just sharing one scooter going back and forth. So then that's when Cole was like, no, I was like, Cole, you try, because he paid for it. So I'm like, Cole, you try it. He's like, I don't know. And I'm like, not you scared. I'm doing it with heels. So if I could do it with heels, you could do it. So he was doing it, whatever, and he was going down. And Pam was like helping him. So now me and Martin is just sitting there by myself, and he was like, so what you doing after this? And I was like, I'm going home. Like, after this, because now it's like close to 3 o'clock. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to go home after this. And he was like, oh, okay, when do you leave? And I was telling him that I leave on Monday. And he was like, oh, okay, so I got some more time to see you. I was just like, yeah, what y'all got planned for tomorrow? And when I said y'all, he kind of looked at me and he was like, I don't know what they got planned. Like, girl, I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about you. Like, I want to see you. That's how I took it. But I'm still going to be innocent, and I'm still not even going to think that because I just don't want to be rude to Cole. That's my problem, not being rude. So I'm just like, well, what do y'all want to do tomorrow? Like, we can go to the beach or, we can go get brunch, whatever. And he was like, all right, cool. Not too early, though, because, we already out. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we kind of talking, they coming back. So before Martin say anything, I want to say it because I never want to be the one that's like caught in a lie or not even caught in a lie, but I don't know. I don't want nobody looking at me funny because I didn't say nothing. I don't know. It's weird, y'all. It's weird. So I was just like, so, yo, what y'all doing tomorrow? Y'all want to go to brunch and we can go to the beach or whatever? And then that's when Pam was like, yeah, I'm down. Let's do it. So I'm like, all right, cool. So Cole was like, yeah, for sure. You know, I want to see you more before you go back to Atlanta. We definitely going to have to link up when we get to Atlanta. But, yeah, we here, so let's have a good time. So I'm like, all right, cool. So now it comes to the point where I'm looking at Ubers and I'm like, looking around, looking down at my phone, because like I said, when I first Ubered here, it was $35. Now it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning, and my Uber say 110. My Uber say 110. And not that I ain't got it, but I don't want to spend no $110 to drive 20 minutes. Like, I don't want to do that. So I'm like, oh my gosh. This Uber is crazy. You know how you don't want to say nothing, but you want to say something? So I'm like, Cole been nice this whole time. He gotta Uber me home. He got to. I don't even care. Just send me the money. I'll do it on mine. I'm like, look at this. So first I was like, this is crazy. And Martin didn't say nothing, but Cole was like, what's crazy? I'm like, this Uber. Like, what? This is crazy. Let me refresh. Let me look at Lyft. Like, I'm just trying everything. And it was 110. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I told him, like, this Uber is 110 for me to get home. And Mark was like, dang, where you live at? And I told him, and he was like, well, not where I live, but where your Airbnb at? And I told him, like, that's not even far. I'm like, no, like, you know. So I'm just like, So then that's when Pam, my girl, she was like, Cole, why don't you just pay for her to Uber home so you make sure she can get she can get saved. He said 110. I was like, yeah, that's crazy. It only took me $35 to get here. And he was like, yeah, that is crazy. She said that you should pay for my Uber so you make sure I get home safe. She didn't tell you to say it was crazy. So I was just sitting there like, acting like I'm doing something, but I'm really not doing nothing because it's nothing I can do. I'm just like, yo, if I got to pay this 110, I'm just probably going to stay home tomorrow. Like, I'm not paying no more Ubers if I got to pay 110. So then Martin was like, well, Martin was like, well, I can take you if you want me to. And I looked at him. I was like, really? I was like, really? And Cole was like, nah, you live right here. Ain't no point in you going all the way over there. And then he asked Pam, like, where do you live? And she was like, I live that way, but that's like taking me out of the way. Like, it's kind of taking me out of the way. He was like, well, I'll give you 30 for gas. And I'm thinking to myself, just let Martin take. I just wanted to spend some time. I just wanted to spend some time alone so I could really catch a vibe. Like, so I could see, like, if now he got me just by himself. Is it me tripping or do he really want the kid? Like, I was like, you know, I would rather Martin take me. But Cole was like, nah, I'll give you $30 to take her, you know, since it's on your, you know, since it's not the opposite direction. Like, he literally lived, like, he could walk to his house. Like, he didn't even drive. So we would have to walk to his house and take his car and go. And I don't think Cole had a car. Because at first I was like, okay, because first Pam did not want to drive me. So she was like, well, here we right here at the train station, we could see what time the trains go, da, da, da. And I'm just like, I really don't want to take no train. But I was not about to be a beggar or a chooser, so I was just like, okay, we can see. And then Martin was like, are you sure you don't want me to take you? And I was like, I mean, you can take me. And then that's when Cole was like, all right, I'll get, because it's like 10 minutes later. We waiting on the train not coming. So Cole was like, all right, I'll give you $40 if you take her home. And then that's when Pam was like, okay, I'll take her home. I'm just like, Pam, I know we're not really friends, but didn't you catch the drift that I kind of want to go this way? But I feel like in the midst of us sitting around and talking or whatever, Pam started feeling Martin, and I told y'all what she wanted. So he was saying all the right things, and I feel like she wanted to, like, finesse Martin. So I was just like, oh, okay, I guess maybe nobody wants me to get in the car with Martin, and she getting $40 off of it, so whatever. So I get in the car with Pam, you know, before I left, Cole like, let's take a picture together. And y'all, if I find that picture, I will post it for sure. So Cole, like, let's take a picture together. And the way he's holding me is so like I'm his girlfriend. I'm just like, my ninja over there watching us. You better be careful. You better be careful. Stop playing with me. Nah, but I'm taking a picture and I'm just like, cheese, you know, being cutesy or whatever. I actually have my hair out like this. Obviously, y'all know this is a wig. But I have my hair out like this. It was really cute, but it just wasn't as full, wasn't as long. But I definitely want to get y'all a picture because that's when my hair was actually doing what I wanted it to do. And I tried to do that again and it just did not hit like it was supposed to. I don't know what I was using on it. I need to like remember because that really ate down for me. Anyway, so we driving home. So are we driving to my Airbnb? I roll up. We in a parking lot first. I'm like, all right, thank you for taking me. You know, you got the $40, but let me still just roll up so we can ride and, you know, puff on the way. So she was like, all right, cool. So we ride and we talking. She was like, oh, they seem cool. Like, you know, I'm like, yeah, they really are cool. I'm like, what you think about, Tommy? She was like, no. No, Tommy don't even look like he got it. Like, no, I do not want Tommy. If anything, I want Martin. I'm trying to figure out what the wife talking about. I'm like, girl, Martin don't want you. Martin want me. And you can have Cole if you want him. We can switch, sis, because, yeah, no, you're not getting Martin, period. Not on my watch. I ain't say that, but I'm just like, mental note, like, oh, she want Martin. Anyway, so, but at the same time, I'm still like playing it cool because I never been in, I have been in a similar situation, but it was different. Like, it was different. So I'm just like, hold on, y'all, this lash. Y'all like my lashes? I did like a bigger lash, but I don't feel like they too big. I could have put them on a little better, but I was getting frustrated. So I did what I could, but tell me what y'all think. Y'all think these is too big for my face or y'all liking them? Anyway, back to the story. So, cool, we riding. I realized, oh, she want Martin. And it's just like, yeah, no, you can't have him, sis. But anyway, we get home. We get to my Airbnb. I said, thank you. So I asked her, like, you know, since you don't live too far from here, do you mind if I either Uber to your house and then I ride with you, or you come pick me back up? I got the tree. Like, I got the tree. I ain't got no gas for you, but I got some gas for you, okay? So she was like, all right, cool. I'll just come pick you up. It's no problem. Like, you put us onto this place, so, yeah, I'll come pick you up. So I'm like, thanks, sis. So, cool. I'm in the jacuzzi for the rest. Like, I got home probably like 3:30 at night. 3 in the morning, and I'm like, shoot, I'm about to take my clothes off and get in this jacuzzi and smoke me the rest of this little So boom, I'm doing that, and I'm just like having a good time with myself. Not like that. As soon as it came in my mouth, it was like, whoa, what are you doing, sis? But no, not like that, but just like I was enjoying just being alone up under the stars and just puffing and in the jacuzzi. Like, I was having a good time. So I probably stayed in the jacuzzi for another hour, got in the shower, went to sleep. So we get up the next day. I probably got up at like 10 o'clock, maybe almost 11, and I had a message. Mind you, I still never gave Cole my number, so we still just texting on the app or whatever. So he had texted me like, hey, good morning, you know, y'all still trying to link up today? So I texted him back like, yeah, I'm just waking up, maybe let's do like 12 or 1 o'clock. So he was like, all right, cool, we can do 1 o'clock just to, you know, for everybody. None of his friends have really hit him up yet. So I'm like, all right, cool. So boom, I'm just taking taking it slow, rolling up. Y'all, I told y'all I was a stoner, okay? So y'all already know I'm on vacation. I ain't got no job. I ain't got no kids. Like, I'm just chilling, right? So I call, because I had got old girl number. So I call her, and like maybe if I woke up at like 11, I probably call her like 11:30, and she answered the phone, and I was like, oh. So I did reach out to whatever. I talked to Cole. He said they downstairs. We're going to meet up at 1 o'clock. What time did you want to come get me? And she was like, I can come get you in like the next hour and a half. So I'm like, all right. So we're not really probably going to be there at 1 o'clock. But at the end of the day, so what? We're just going to meet on the beach, and then we're going to figure out, you know, the rest. We were supposed to be going to get something to eat. So she comes get me. I already got 2 rolls because it's one for the trip, one for when we get there. Because it only takes us 20 minutes to get there, but still, that's just how my stoner mind was wired, right? Just got to be ready for whatever. So she come get me, and we both look cute, and I'm just like, oh, you look cute, girl. She was like, you too, da-da-da. She was a really cool girl. Like, she was really cool, whatever. So I ended up texting Cole, letting him know that we was on our way. Where do we want to meet up at? So he was like, let's just meet up at Wet Willie's. So I'm like, cool. Now, was it Wet Willie's? Yeah, I was about to say Fat Tuesdays, but it was, let's meet up at Wet Willie's. So we met up at Wet Willie's, and we ended up just eating there. Like, we didn't even go to brunch. We just ate there and got some drinks or whatever. So Cole was just such a gentleman. Now, mind you, it was all of us again, but Cole was there first. And then the other 2 friends, I don't know if they rode together, but like when we got there, Cole was already there. So we went and got a table, and then the other 2 dudes came in at the same time. So Cole ended up like paying for our meals, me and Pam at the end. So then that's when what's his name? Tommy was like, dang, Cole. Dang, Gina. Say nah. Tommy was like, dang, Cole, like, you ain't even given me the chance to pay for Pam's meal. Like, you already got your girl. I'm trying to secure mine. And Pam just looked at him like, when he said, I'm trying to secure mine, Pam was like, I'm cool. Cole is cool. So I'm just like, yeah, like, he just cool. He just being nice because that's my friend. And he was like, yeah, and I'm trying to be her friend. That's what Tommy said. So I'm just like, oh, my gosh. So Martin was like, y'all crazy. I ain't paying for nobody. And I looked at Martin, and I said, oh, so you wanted to pay for, I'm thinking to myself, oh, you wanted to pay for my snacks, but you don't want to pay for my drink. Okay, cool. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, nobody but your wife. And he just looked at me like, B-I-T-T-H, like, stop bringing her up. Like, you already know what's going on. So I was like, y'all want to get another drink before we, like, go to the beach? Because we was able to, at that time, we was able to just walk out with the souvenir cup or whatever. So Cole was like, if you want to buy the next round, then you could do that, Tommy. Tommy was like, nah, I ain't talking about for all of y'all. I'll buy Pam. So I'm like, I can see why Pam don't want it. Like, he just paid for everybody's. You couldn't say, oh, I'll take care of the girls. Like, you know? But anyway, he like, I paid for Pam's, and Pam was like, okay, I want 2 of them. I was like, right. So he was like, nah, I got you with 1. Why are you trying to do me like that? Da, da, da. So anyway, Martin didn't get 1, but Cole paid for me and his, and then Tommy didn't get 1 either, and then he paid for Pam's. So we just walk in the strip, and then we end up going to the beach. We were just walking on the beach, and it was just like a cool time. Nothing really happened, but we were just cooling or whatever. So we just walking around, walking on the beach, and then as we about to leave the beach, we like rinsing off our feet, and then that's when Cole was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. Do you need to go? And I was like, no. So then, ironically, I don't know if this was God just trying to, you know, I don't know. But Pam and Tommy had to go to the bathroom too. So they all went to the bathroom, and I was like, okay, well, we'll just wait for y'all here. Because it was a little bench or whatever. So I'm like, all right, we'll just wait for y'all here. So Martin just talking to me and like asked me why I was being slick. And I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean being slick? He was like, every time I say something, you try to bring up my wife. Like, why you keep doing that? And I was like, oh, because you was trying to be funny, so I thought that I would be funny too. Like, so we just talking, and he was like, so what you got planned after this? And I was like, I don't really have, you know, too much planned. Just letting him know, like, I just came up on a solo vacation. Like, this was not even part of my plans. I was just going to be chilling in the jacuzzi. He's like, oh, you got a jacuzzi in your room? And I'm like, yeah, I do. Want to come? Say, no, I ain't say that. He was like, well, I definitely want to see you before you go, and I got something to do tomorrow, so you should come to my condo later on. And I was like, come to your condo? Like, for what? And he was like, you don't want to spend time with me? I was like, I didn't say I didn't want to spend time with you, but how would that look, me coming to your condo? Like, how would Cole feel? You know, because I still did have a heart. Like, yeah. He was like, I know that he was insinuating, like, in my mind, I don't care, stoned or not, he was insinuating that I would come to his condo by himself. He didn't say y'all, he said you. But he was like, yeah, everybody's going to come. And I was thinking to myself, like, he's lying. Like, he was not trying to invite everybody. Like, he just wanted to invite me. I was like, okay, so what we gonna do at your house? And he was like, yeah, we can just, chill. I'll cook for y'all, and we can just play games or just, chill, vibe out. I'm an old man. I don't really do too much. I don't go to the club and all of that. I'm like, all right, cool. I wasn't like planning on going to the club anyway. I'm like, what you cooking? So he was like, what you want? And I was like, some seafood. He was like, okay, I got you. So I'm like, all right, cool. Cool, I'll be there. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll be there or whatever. So when the people pulled up, this is how I know he was really talking about me, because when they pulled up, like when Cole and Pam and Tommy came back, he was like, hey, y'all got any plans for tonight? So if you was talking about all of us, I feel like your homeboys would have already knew about the plan. Like, you just thought about this because you wanted it to be me and you in your condo without your wife. Like, that's what you wanted. So anyway, they said that they wasn't doing nothing. They all said that they was down to go to dinner. All right, cool. So let's just kind of fast forward, because nothing really happened. We just walked around for probably another 30 to an hour, and then we all like split up. Well, obviously I went with Pam because she drove me there. So she drove me back home, and I'm like, are you going to come tonight? And she was like, yeah, I'm going to come. I'm like, are you sure? Like, because I don't know, when she said yeah, she was giving off vibes that she didn't necessarily want to come. But at the same time, like, I thought that maybe we was just all tired because we didn't get too much rest from last night or whatever. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I'm asking her, are you sure you're going to come? She was like, yeah. I was like, all right, cool. And this is how I kind of knew she wasn't going to come. I still had hope, but I kind of knew she wasn't going to come because she was like, yeah, but I might be a little late, so you'll probably have to Uber there. At the time, just like, okay, no problem. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe she's just tired of coming to get me because this gas ain't enough, because it ain't actually going into her tank, So I'm just like, all right, cool, as long as you coming, because I felt safe with them. But at the same time, I did just meet them, and I don't really just want to be in a house with 3 dudes. Like, that's not what I wanted. But she said she was coming. I would just have to Uber there. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I went home, got in my jacuzzi, chilled, blew down, took a nap, woke up, took a shower, got dressed, whatever. So it's around, we were supposed to all meet up at 9 o'clock. So it's around like 7 o'clock, almost 8 o'clock. And I'm just like, okay, let me reach out just to make sure, to confirm, like, hey girl, you still coming? And she took about 10-15 minutes to write me back. She was like, yeah, I'll be there. So I'm like, all right, cool. So cool. So I'm like, I want to be on time, so I'm going to make sure that I'm dressed, like I'm already getting dressed and I'm ready to go. So before I left, I rolled up. And that's one thing he told me, like, I got you when you get there. Like, when you get there, I got some stuff for you. And I'm like, all right, cool, but I'm still gonna do my thing. So I rolled up, get an Uber, because I'm like, I don't want it to be too late. Don't want my Uber to cost too much. So I get an Uber. I get there around like 8:30. So I'm like, dang, like, should I wait? No, because he gave us his address or whatever. So I go up there, and I even text Cole, or wrote Cole on the app. Still didn't have his number. Wrote Cole on the app like, hey, I'm pulling up. And he was like, okay, I'll be there soon. And I'm just like, dang, like, he not even here. But a part of me is like, good. Like, yeah, I was so conflicted in the situation because Martin was so fine, and he had money too. I was just like, wow, because the condos, even from the outside, walking in the lobby, like, I just knew, like, this man had a bag. You're supporting, well, I don't even know if he was like, I'm assuming you're paying mortgage and you're paying rent, like, child, sign me up. It's like, it's like, nah, I really wasn't trying to do too much, because it's like, you already do have a wife. Even though, like, you're flirting me down, but you got a wife, so I'm not about to mess it up with somebody who's single, who I started with, for somebody who's not even available, So cool. So I get up there, I knock on the door. He answered the door with the biggest smile on his face. And he was like, oh, you look so beautiful. Like, you look good. I'm like, oh, okay, you look nice too. And then that's when he, like, y'all, his hugs were just so like, he would just embrace me, just like, not too hard, but it was just like, he knew me. He just was like giving me this nice big hug, and I was just like, oh, okay. So he was like, oh, you the first one here? And I'm like, dang, well, I kind of figured I would be the first one there, but it's like, sheesh, like, I don't know. I just had a lot of emotions going through me. I'm like, oh, can I use your bathroom? First thing, like, I came into the house, gave him a hug, looked around, and I just seen, like, this was a bachelor pad. Like, it was very nicely decorated, but it wasn't really decorated, if that makes sense. Like, it had bare minimum things in there, but it was just so nice. Like, the balcony, it was like a panoramic view vibe, and it just was like, like big screen TV, nice island, nice kitchen, like, and everything was neat and clean and like spick, like this man had maids or something, like it was just so spick and span. So I'm like, oh, can I use your bathroom? So he was like, yeah, it's right over here. You need me to show you? I'm like, no, you said right over here. I mean, I'm sure it's only a 1 or 2 bedroom apartment. It ain't that big. So I go to the bathroom. Y'all, I'm just looking at myself like, like, girl, because this man is, I can't explain it enough. Like, this man was so fine. So I'm like, all right, cool, girl, get it together. So cool. I don't really use the bathroom, but I act like I use the bathroom, you know, whatever. So he was asking me, like, you know, do you drink wine? I was like, yeah, I do drink wine. He was like, oh, I got that stuff for you too. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you, I appreciate it. So at this point, I did puff a little bit earlier, but he was like, you want it now? Yeah, what else I'm gonna do? So he gave it to me. I already had myself to roll up with. He was like, yeah, you can roll up on the island, but you just can't do it in the house or whatever. And I'm like, oh yeah, I would never, like, your house is beautiful. I would never disrespect your house like that with blowing it down in here. So anyway, I'm rolling up, he gave me a little glass of wine. I'm just like, So we just talking, like, he's not flirting a lot, but we're just talking, have a conversation. Like I said, that first night that we met up with them, like, y'all, we was just talking about random stuff and just like talking. So he was like, so, you know, asking me what I do and, you know, where I'm from, but because he, even though we was talking, like, he never really got one-on-one time with me to like kind of figure me out. So he just asked me different things. So I asked him, like, not trying to be smart, I'm like, you know, so with the whole you not living with your wife, like, why did you want that? And he was just like, I really am just at the point in my life where I love my wife, I love our child, but at the same time, I need my space. And I was like, okay, so do you be, I know you said you cheated on her, do you be cheating on her? Now, mind you, when I'm asking these questions, I had already went out to the balcony and I came back and I was a little stoned by the time I started asking him these questions. So I just felt like I wanted to know if you was really, I don't know, y'all might call me wrong, but if he was willing, I was willing. Like, I would have dated him. I would have been his little yeah. Anyway, y'all, I'm sorry. I have never dealt with a married man knowingly. That story time will be around somewhere. But for him, I was going to do it because after what he told me. Anyway, so he's like, I asked him if he ever cheated on his wife or whatever, and he was like, no, like, now. He was like, when I cheated on her, I was young, I was playing football, I was doing this, I was doing that, I was a star athlete, it was just getting thrown at me left and right, and I just couldn't help myself, but I got over it, she got her payback, and that is what, like, made him want to separate. Once she got her payback and got down by somebody else, he didn't want to be with her no more. But he wanted his family. His baby was young, and it was like, you know, whatever. So they ended up getting back together. But as he got older, he started making even more money with another business that he had. And he was like, I just feel like I do everything for my family. I need something for myself. And she was like a nurse, like a traveling nurse or something. So she wasn't always home anyway. And their son was like older. So, all right, cool. So he's asking me, like, can I help him cook? So I was like, sure, I'll help you. What you need me to do? And he was asking me, like, to chop up some peppers and da-da-da. I was like, well, I don't want no peppers. I'll chop them up for you, but make mine without peppers. And he was like, all right, cool. So I'm chopping them up. I'm on the island, face this way, and he's, like, face the other way. So I'm chopping, and then he come behind me and, like, he didn't bear hug me, but he, like, came behind me and put his hands on my hands, like, nah, you supposed to do it like this. And I'm just like, okay. So I end up kind of, I didn't know what to do, but I kind of, like, turned around. And y'all, You're gonna have to wait till the next video. Because I just did not know what to do in this situation. Like, where are your friends? Where are they at? Did you tell them a different time? I already wrote Cole and told him that I was here. I've been here for 30 minutes. Why is nobody here? I'm gonna make y'all wait to see exactly everything that happened, because y'all, it was just a lot for me. It was a lot. I was really fighting for his wife. At this point, I ain't give a damn about Cole. I was fighting because, that man, that man made me feel this type of way. Like, he made me feel this type of way. I was like, no, because I want to be a wife one day, and I just do not want that bad energy coming back to me, like, you know, when I get married. So I just was trying my hardest. But then there was some things that he told me. We're going to get into it. Anyway, that is the story. That is the story time, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Make sure y'all leave me an orange heart, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.